Hey folks, Kilt-Man here. Kilt-Man at your dreamy or nightmarish services. How are you all? We're all doing very, very well. Now this is a video which, well, if you're watching it, it means I've gone, yeah, okay, we'll put it out there, because who the hell cares? Well, I care about this bit of like dangly hair, which is going to really piss me off. It's going to piss me off, it's going to piss you off as well, so let's try to, eradicate it now. Scissors, please, scissors! No, I can't afford to chop any more hair off. Just keep what I've got. Dreams, folks, dreams. We all have them. And there's plenty of people like, I don't dream. I don't like people that say that. You don't dream, so your mind just does nothing when you're in a bobo, What does it do then? You just lie there, semi-awake, plotting and scheming. We dream. I don't know what they are. And I've done videos on this before. I know I have. And we all like to discuss dreams and what they mean. Subconscious thoughts. Are they premonitions? Are they this? Are they that? Is it manipulation? It's your imagination. Just your mind never stops. This is the thing that I cannot get my head around, when you die. Whatever your belief system may be, mine is simply that your body shuts down, your heart stops beating, your lungs stop pumping oxygen around your body, and your body decays. But your internal brain, your mind, your spirit, your soul, if you want to call it that, your soul, your inner core, it doesn't switch off. How can it? I refuse to believe that. And if maybe our dream consciousness, which is what you'd call it, the subconscious, why do we sleep? Well, to rest, to recuperate. But really, why? If you're in certain military operations, you go through a huge 3 to even 5 day cycle of not sleeping, and the reason why you're like that is keep you hyper alert, and you go through various thresholds and barriers, but routine keeps you going. You don't sleep that night, you're hyper alert, you're on, an OP, you're watching for enemy activity, you're observing, you're surveilling a particular place. Anything can happen at any time in a wee small hours, so you've got to keep alert. But you've got to keep yourself in a cycle. So you've got to have breakfast, have a shave, and then you have your lunch, and then you have an evening meal. That can be reconfigured, of course, but the cycle of like your normal daily routine has to be kept sacrosanct, otherwise you go doolally. But there are monks that don't sleep, there are people that don't sleep. But really, for like months, years on end, they just go into a meditative state, and they all dream that way. So I guess what I'm saying is, like, we all dream, whether you remember it or not, is kind of like, oh, look at the draw. It's very random. It's very sort of roulette wheel, Anyway, I dream a lot. I have lots and lots of dreams, and I used to, for a long time, I had dream cycles where I would. This is going back to my teens, and then throughout my first sort of romances, and then my early years with Mrs. Kilt-Man, living in Kirkdale and other places as well. And I remember dreams for a 2-week period, literally 2 weeks. And every morning I remember, wow, they're great. Oh wow, that's fun. You didn't want to wake up. They were so great and vast and adventurous. You just didn't want to wake up. And then went through a huge phase. I did different things and different career, but all of that stuff. And then I didn't really remember any dreams at all. In the Marines don't dream. You don't get a fucking chance to.
Is God.
Freddie. And but then now I've kind of I'm in massively a much calmer phase of my life for now. I've entered in the last few years, another dream state, but not for 2 weeks. It's almost every night. Now the problem with that is that we have the spook that wakes us up at 3:34 in the morning. Well, it wakes me up at 3:31 in the morning, and it breaks the reverie, breaks the dream. Isn't that flappy bit of hair getting ring on? That's going to haunt you. That'll be in your nightmares later. It'll be in mine, guarantee it. Oh fuck it, let's just cascade the whole fucking mess loose. And it won't change that flicky bit. You watch, it's still going to do the same fucking thing. But anyway, so I dream a lot, almost every night. But I wake up and then like, oh God, I've forgotten it. And isn't it frustrating? And you try to cling to that. Now, a thing that happens to me a lot, and I'll bet it happens to you as well. Again, we get the 3:34 wake up call from the spookiness of the Kilt mansion, yeah, and usually it's nothing, but usually, or quite often it can be something, but it breaks the slumberland, and it's hard to get back to sleep again after that. But that notwithstanding, I can wake up from a dream and love that dream and want to get back into it, and you know yourself, and without going into like the finite details of what your subconscious fantasies may be, but you want to get right back into it. And people go, well, you can't do that. Well, you can. Well, I can. I can dream. This is only in later life that I've learned or gained the ability to do so. I've got a lie on the right side, on my right shoulder, and I don't like doing that because Mrs. Kilt-Man's on that side, and breath ain't. No, I'm joking. But I'm always more comfortable on the left side, but I've found in later life that to dream, I've got to be on that side. Now, whether I've just reinforced that myself, I don't know. But anyway, that's the way it goes. So I dream, wake up, for whatever reason, and that blissful, weird half asleepness is a great state to be in, This is where they say, like, yeah, lucid dreaming can come in. You will yourself back to sleep, and you can create your own adventures, create your own dreams, create your own life beyond this one, the one that we're talking in right now. Unless you're dreaming right now. And Kilt-Man is just a figment of your subconscious. Who knows? I don't fucking know. But I can immediately make sure I'm back on that side and fall asleep again. It's fresh in my mind and I can bring it back again. Now, I'm not saying that's a unique skill, but there's the thing about it takes, I'm going to get this wrong now, 15 minutes, if not a lot longer, to get into REM sleep, rapid eye movement, and of course, Nightmare on Elm Street, high points that and well, no, I can fall asleep immediately and start dreaming. I know because I might go to bed earlier. Mrs. Kilt-Man comes to bed and she might read for a bit, and I'm like, oh, my slumber time. Oh, what time is it now? Oh, it's 12:01, midnight 01.
No running in the hallway.
Bloody Freddy keeps interrupting things, so it could be 12:01. And I'll go like, I'll fall asleep. Have an epic Lord of the Rings, Tolkien-esque, Leviathan epic quest dream, and wake up again as she's turned the page over, and I'll be like, what? Are you still reading? And it might be like 12:02 or 12:03. What does that mean? Time is kaleidoscoped inside your mind. I don't have the wherewithal and the vernacular to describe, what dreams are. No one has. You've got psychologists and psychiatrists, I suppose, and people that put electric shocks through people's heads, who might have different sort of beliefs on this and theories. But that's how I dream. I can dream like that now. Have an epic, huge medieval or sci-fi fantasy adventure, or a humdrum pile of old shite, which seems to last forever, and then wake up and it's only been a minute of time has gone by, a minute or two of time gone by. Anyway, it's the one, look at that. What the hell is that? Let's bring it all back down. I may have to like put a hat on. Oh. Nobody around me's got a hat I can borrow. Damn it. Anyway, last night I had an epic dream which was broken and intercut several times, and I was able to go back into it again and pick up the pieces, the residue, and carry on the story. But as dreams are, everything's fractured and weird and changes all the time. But the dream was thus. I'm going to start with this one. Somebody from the pub, a bloke, I know him. I've just left the pub and he's in the pub right now. And I don't know his name, but he always comes in. He keeps himself to himself. He wears like an old battered suit jacket. He's got kind of wispy grey hair and a wispy grey beard. He's not that old. He could even be younger than me. But he looks, he watches the bands sometimes who play every weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You have bands in the cask. And he goes in there, but he drinks in other pubs as well. I've seen him all over the place. And we let on, all right, brother, I always say, and he just goes, and that's it. Looks like maybe a retired professor, but he retired too young, you know what I mean? A learned sort of scholar who's now found real ale and he's enjoying that. But very quiet. And anyway, he was in the dream, and this is going to sound quite bizarre. He was in our bedroom. The dream started off with him invading my bedroom, and I was in bed. You can make of this what you will. This is going to go a lot of different places, by the way. And he come in, and I was like, "The fuck are you doing here?"
To Freddy.
And he said that. I was going to say, I don't even know his name, but his name's obviously Freddy. Come to Freddy, he said. And he got on the end of the bed, and he lay sort of like, you know, we're like obviously, well, I'm lying vertically up the bed. You know, pillows are up here. He lay across the bottom of the bed, and he began to tell me a story, which the bits of that I don't remember, to be honest. And I was kind of like, but what are you doing here? Why are you here? And he began to laugh and chuckle and sort of roll around the bottom of the bed. And I was like, oh, this is fucking stupid, dude. You shouldn't be here, mate. You know, I'm going to have to like get rid of you. And anyway, but either I woke up at that point, blissfully, Jesus, don't let that happen again. I don't want to be dreaming about him. And I kind of, that's fucking weird. What's that about? But you're in that half reverie where you're still connected to the dream story. So I've got a part of me, coherent side, was thinking, you've got to get to the bottom of this. Don't make up your own stories. So I rolled over again and went back into it. And he'd gone from the bedroom, and I was suddenly downstairs, and Mrs. Kilt-Man was saying, "Oh, I'm sorry about that." But he came in, and you know, he's all right. Don't worry about it. And I'm going like, "What do you mean? Don't worry about it? Why was he here? What was he doing here? Why did he come to our bedroom? What was he doing at the bottom of our bed?" You know. She goes, "Oh, look, don't worry about it." Another little broken piece there, and then our kitchen transformed into another kitchen. This is a big, long kitchen. But it was roughly the same sort of layout, albeit without all of my stuff around it. And it went much longer, with a long trestle table. There is a big table behind you guys, but it's not as long as the one in my dream. And people were in here, and it was like a party, but it's connected to what happened before. And Mrs. Kilt-Man was acting really strange, and I was saying to her, like, what the hell was he doing in our bedroom? Why was he there? And she was, oh look, he's gone now. Don't worry. Oh, sorry, I've missed a bit out. I come down to the kitchen, and our archaic oven, with the overhead grill pan, and all the old-fashioned hobs, gas, and what had been set up in my dream fantasy land. There was one of the back hobs was burning bright, and there was all pans and sort of Tupperware, yes, Tupperware, plastic, was mounted up like a huge sort of like pyramid on the front burners. And I come in and went, that's a booby trap. Who the hell set that? Instead of turning the gas off, I called Mrs. Kilt. I said, like, who the hell did that? What's that about? And she went, oh, that'll be him. It's funny how I don't know the guy's name, but in my dream, we were referring to him, the guy from the pub, the guy that was at the end of the bed. But no name came out, but we knew who was talking about. It was no. I went, the fucking hell? That's a booby trap. He's trying to burn the house down. So I turned everything off. I fucking smacked all this shit around. I said, why'd you let him do that? And she went, oh no, don't worry about it. It's all dealt with. I said, I'm gonna fucking get him now. I'm gonna do him in. And she went, don't worry about it, and stop me. She went, he's gone now. She went, he's gone? When did he go? Oh, he's gone. But don't worry about it. So I was like, oh, hang on a minute. And then either I woke up again or the dream got fractured. But then we got the kitchen, a sort of an evolution of what had just happened, and the kitchen changed completely and became like this huge long kitchen with a big trestle table. And there was loads of people there. Loads of people. Lots of people that some I recognised, mostly I didn't. And it's funny how in dreams, it's the ones that you don't recognise that in your head, in your dream, oh, they're your busy mates. You've got history with these people. And the ones that you recognise are in the background, dreams. Who the hell knows? And I was trying to get Mrs. Kilt-Man, Janet. I remember saying Janet a lot in the dream. Janet, what the hell happened? Why was he here? Why did he booby trap, the kitchen? What was going on? And I was like, look, okay. And other people around us were beginning to get, oh, no, she'll tell you. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Oh, you all know about what this is. You're not telling me. Janet, tell me what the fuck is going on. And she had this sort of like smug look on her face. I know what you guys are thinking. I know I in reciting this, I'm seeing another development in this, another subconscious undercurrent. And I was like, no, what the hell happened? And she's like, I'll tell you. It's nothing to worry about. So it's kept coming back. Nothing to worry about. But you won't like it, but it's nothing to worry about. Alright, will you fucking tell me? And then some other girl, this is a girl that I sat with outside the cask last week, and then just the other day, she come back again, with her mate, and we were talking and having a good bit of laughter and a bit of banter and all that. And she turned up, and she went, oh, don't worry, she'll tell you, it's nothing to worry about. And this mantra, nothing to worry about, was really getting to me. So I went, because a lot of the people were women who were in there, apart from Steve, who's one of our neighbours. Steve was there. And here's another weird thing for you. Steve he was cooking for us, and he had this big bacon tray, and there was tons of chicken there covered in red sauce, and he had like a cardboard packaging, a container for something on the board and on the bacon tray, and all of this food was amassed around it. I remember saying in the dream, he goes, I'm going to put this in now. I went, well, you're going to take the fucking packaging away? He went, oh no, you leave it in, because what it does, in the heat, it all smothers the cardboard and it's edible. And I was like, what the hell? And other people were going, no, he's done it before, it's great, it's lovely. You gotta try it, it's fantastic. So I was like, oh, whatever. I've got more important things on my mind, like the fact I'm losing my mind. It goes in the oven. And this other woman come in, like, and then so like, I said something like, oh, you fucking women, meaning, you know, you're all a coven, you know, you all stick together. Because she's going like, oh, don't worry about it, leave Janet alone, don't worry about it. I went, oh, fucking women. And I stormed off, and like, she came after me, she went, I don't like what you just said there. What do you mean, that fucking woman? I went, no, I didn't mean you as that fucking woman. I meant fucking women even that sounds wrong. I meant women in general, like fucking women. You all stick together like a coven. You all stick together, don't you? And she went, well, you just don't know what's happened, do you? I said, I don't know what's happened. I want to find out. She'll tell you. Just give her time to tell you. I was like, everyone fucking knows something here. I know where you're not going with it. I know, because as I'm saying it out loud, it's all coming together. So I asked Janet again. I said, like, what the hell is going on? She went, look, I'll tell you, but if you know Janet, Mrs. Kilt-Man, she can't tell you anything straight. She can't. She goes round the houses. I go like, well, oh, Kilt-Man, look at you. You know, you try and review a movie and you go off on a million tangents in the first 2-3 minutes, and it takes you half an hour to get back to the movie you're talking about. I know, but I'm very direct conversationally. What happened? Did you do this? Did that happen? I did this. I went there. This happened. Blah blah blah. Bullet point. Bullet point. Bullet point. And then I'll go off on tangents. But Mrs. Kilt-Man, when she's trying to tell you a story, oh Christ, you tune out. It can go on forever and a day. And you just get to the fucking point, you know. And she was doing that, but she had this smarmy look. Like, she's like, I'm just going to string you along because I'm not going to tell you what's happened. It's nothing to worry about. Must have woke up again after that stage, because the next thing I know, I'm in a sort of a hotel corridor, and again, but there's people in every room I knew in my dream were all our friends, and I'm with Mrs. Kilt-Man and all that, and but her friend who's a nurse. Now that's not in reality. That's in the dream, and the woman in the dream I didn't recognise. I went, what? Hang on, let's get this right. Janet leaves. She goes like, look, I'll tell you later. Don't worry about it. I'll tell you later. Don't worry about it. I'll tell you later. And I'm like, I'm really fucking like getting uber riled at this stage. So her mate, the nurse, who in reality I do not know at all, just a dream woman. She was very pretty, let's be honest. And I went, oh God, this is doom. And she went, look, I know what's happened. Do you want me to tell you? And I was like, you know what's happened? And she went, yeah, it's nothing to worry about though. Honestly, it's nothing to worry about. And I went, okay, tell me. And she went, well, okay, well come in here then. So we went to like a little a utility room on the hotel corridor with mops and buckets and brooms and all that. And I went, and she was about to tell me. And I went, no, don't tell me. Don't, because I want Janet to tell me. I'll have her tell me. And that changed everything in the dream. She went, okay, and got upset and like ran out the broom cupboard and ran down the corridor. And I was like, and suddenly a mate of hers appeared. And I thought, oh my God, a mate's gonna think I've upset this girl. So I went after, and in my dream was trying to like, hey, listen, everything's okay. What happened to you? And I was over-labouring the point. A psychiatrist would have a field day with this. You know, the inner id, you know, what's going on there? And I went, look, what happened? And she went, I know what happened. I know. But it creeps me out. I can't deal with this. It creeps me out, she said. And she ran away out the hotel, down the hotel corridor, out the door at the end of the hall, was gone. And her mate was just going, what happened there? And I went, I don't know. I'm trying to find out something. Obviously, another chapter doth end, and I wake up. Oh, and I'm really, Mrs. Kilt-Man's right there, snoring and farting beside me. But I'm like, I'm gonna wake you up. You turn it over, and it's a gargoyle face. Remember Twilight Zone, you know? And they play that song, you know, and Dan Aykroyd becomes. Well, I didn't wake her up. I didn't turn it over. I went, no, I'm gonna go back into the stream. This is what I'm saying to you. I don't know if you're all aware of this ability, whether you've all got the ability, but because I keep waking up sort of on my back and like, turn back on the right shoulder and shut my eyes. It's not hard to do because you're still, even the bits in between, you could say you're still dreaming and your dream has just chapterized everything. I don't know. I felt like I was awake for a bit, each of these intervals, and then went back into it. And the next segment, I was on a street in a very busy, I have a lot of dreams of strange cities that don't exist. Very Edwardian, they're skyscrapers, but they're sort of like cobbled streets and cantilevered, that's probably the wrong word to use, but lots of little roofs and things, but they go up like a Tim Burton-esque sort of landscape. Very Victorian, Edwardian, gas lamps and all that, like, and top hats and things, and yet there's motorbikes and cars going around, but it's very Hogwartian because everything sort of moves around as well, like. And I was trying to find Mrs. Kilt-Man, and I remember like strutting. I always strut. I always fucking strut, you know. And if you wear a kilt, you've got to strut. And if you wear a vest and a kilt, you haven't even got a strut. Just the rig out, the vest and the kilt make it struts for you. You're just along for the ride. And Scally's part like the fucking Red Sea, you know. And I was doing that in a dream, and I ended up in like a shopping centre, and I had a real dilemma with the doorways. And this is a common thing that I have in other dreams, that I end up in like maybe working in a new place. I've gone to a new job and it's an office block, but it's a labyrinthine, huge glass and steel construction and I never, I can't find my way back to my room or my desk or my team, and I spend hours or days in my dream like trying to find the right way back, and it drives me mad. Or me and Mrs. Kilt-Man are in a hotel and it's got so many different floors and weird cubby holes and weird staircases. And I have these a lot, these repeat dreams of locations where, and these are recurrent dreams. It's a very recurrent theme, but sometimes I go back to the same building, the same place. And this felt very familiar to me in my dream state. And I was lost again. I couldn't find the way out. And I was asking people, have you seen Mrs. Kilt-Man? I wasn't using the term actually. Have you seen Janice? Have you seen... Didn't have a picture, but I was saying, have you seen this girl? Assuming they knew who I was talking about. And they go, no. And then one person go like, oh yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, she was here, but it's nothing to worry about. It's something for you to fucking worry about. But I didn't know it. I didn't attack anyone. But the frustration was enormously mounting. And I couldn't get out of this fucking shopping centre. And I remember like I picked up like a bin, one of them big sort of like, sort of phallic shaped bins. I think they're very American style bins like that, usually yellow. And I picked it up and I fucking spun round and I smashed it through like these double glass doors. I mean, there was the way out, but for some reason I couldn't get out those doors without smashing them. And then I ran through the broken glass and all that. No one was after me, no one at all. And then I got back to that kitchen with the ridiculous chicken meal, and no one was there. No one was there, but that plastic sort of pillar of booby trap to melt on the hob was back again. I remember, like, I didn't even bother turning the gas off this time. I just sat down at the end of this the long trestle table was back in there again, and I just sat there and just said to myself, "There's nothing to worry about." And then I woke up, and you're all thinking, "What? Is that it?" Well, yeah, that is it. But you know when dreams have a really sort of profound effect upon you and they don't leave you. Most dreams, you have them, you wake up and you have an impression. It's like sort of a vague patina, you know, on your mind's eye. But as you wake up, it just evaporates. Well, that's not what happened with this. This remained. I'm sure there's bits I've forgotten. I'm sure there is. Don't wait. This was throughout the early hours of this morning, and it's now 9:15. The following night. But I thought, like, you know, and it's bothered me all day long. It's kept coming back to me. So many elements are prevalent that another recurring one that I have, and this would be the first. You could kind of lump it in with the other ones, but I've not had one of those dreams. These other ones I'm going to tell you about for a long time. Well, this year. But for a long space of time, my dreams would be about, it's Mrs. Kilt-Man. The kids aren't involved, by the way. My kids are not in these dreams. I don't know what that means, but they're just not there. But me and Mrs. Kilt-Man are away. We're away in one of these bizarre dream cities with spires and labyrinthine cobbled streets and, you know, weird bridges and canals. But they're really sort of Twilight Zone cities and hamlets. And we're on the last. We're meant to be leaving that day. We've had the holiday, and now we've got to get either a plane, a train, an automobile, a fucking ferry, or whatever, a flying squid. We've got to go in a few hours' time, and this fucking gets me every time. Mrs. Kilt-Man goes, "Well, we're packing up our stuff," and she'll go, "Look, I've just got to go and do something. I'm going to go get a postcard or whatever." Actually, I'm making it up. She never gives an excuse. She goes, "I've just got to go and do something." And I go, "Okay, but don't forget, we've got to be gone in 2 hours." And then she goes, "She's gone missing." And I spend the rest of the dream, God, look, time's getting on. I don't even wear a watch, but I'm going like, time's getting on. And, you know, mobile phones, I don't always dream when I've got a mobile phone at all. I seem to go back in time. But in these dreams, I'm searching these streets for her, and I'm going into pubs and cafes and bakeries for some reason as well, and museums and art galleries and running around. Have you seen this woman? And again, I'm not showing a photograph of it. I'm just going, have you seen this woman? And they'll go, they're reading my mind. No. And then there's no resolution again. I wake up and I'm really sort of feverish and sweating. And I look over here again and think, you fucking witch, what are you doing to me? I don't know what it means. I think there's, having said it out loud, I think there's a recurring theme there. And that's that I don't trust Mrs. Kilt-Man. I do. The thing is I do. Maybe because I trust it so much that my subconscious is going like, no one is that angelic. No one is that trustworthy. Because I fucking know that I'm not. But just when I said that, you get pretty going like, I'm your boyfriend now, Nancy. I am not that trustworthy. Not compared to her. So is it my own? Is it my guilt? Is it my subconscious fear of losing her? Clearly that makes sense, doesn't it? But it's a continuous thing. Me and her have been sort of indivisible since 1989. You know, we've been together and married for a hell of a long time. Been through a lot of stuff, thick and thin, and we're still busy mates, still together. But it's because I'm getting older, and she's still uber attractive, and I'm a fucking old ogre now. She's older than me, for Christ's sake. Is it something to do with that? Is it something to do with me like fearing someone is gonna fucking whisk her away, or she's gonna get fucking bored of me and my madcap ways? How could you get bored of someone who's as wild and reckless as me? How could you get bored of that? Well, I don't know. My dreams seem to tell me otherwise. Sorry, folks. I don't know where this dream scenario ends. And that's the thing about dreams. You don't get a resolution normally. I have another recurring dream, which I've had several times this year, and it does kind of tie in. But weirdly, Mrs. Kilt-Man does not feature in it at all. But it's the same dream. Well, it's the same dream, or rather, I get it again, and in my dream state, I remember. I go, oh God, of course. And it's we have a house. I say we. I presume it's Mrs. Kilt-Man, but I don't see her. We have a house which is wonderful. It's lovely. It's out in the countryside somewhere. It's always super sunny, and there's like you go through it from sort of a Dresden style front, like almost Blitz like horror of rubble everywhere. And I know it doesn't make any sense, but dreams, do they make sense? And you come through that and you go into the house. The house is lovely, like a cottage, and you go to like the back end, the kitchen, lovely summery kitchen area, but it's sunken, and the garden is sort of at the level of the windows, so you're kind of looking up, In a way, that's what we've got here, because our garden is at level. So you go at the conservatory, and you've got a big patio, but you do look up and up and up and up into trees and gardens. So it goes back and back and up and up. So it could be something to do with that, but it looks totally different. But there's a thing about, there's a doorway, just sort of, you got like lovely little rooms and lovely quaint cottage, but there's a doorway, and you open that door, and you've got stairs that go up into darkness. And you go up those stairs, and you go along a corridor, and there's other rooms. This is pure Lovecraftian. The geometry is completely bizarre. And you've got loads of rooms, and you open those rooms, and they're lovely, spacious bedrooms. Some have got they're like a kid's bedroom with like loads of like sort of little push button merry-go-rounds and loads of toys and things and clockwork, so very vintage, sort of, and books on shelves. And then you go another room, and it's like a more adult room with video games and stuff like, and a big screen TV. And like in my dream, I always keep thinking like, my God, no one knows we've got these extra rooms. This looks like nothing from the outside. It's rubble on the outside, sunny on the back, and we've got all this as well. But it doesn't stop there. The dream goes on. You go down this corridor, all these bedrooms. You take a right, and like more corridors, more rooms, all different sort of styles. And then you go through another doorway and up some stairs, and then you go into like a huge sort of like a warehouse, a bombed out warehouse, and it's rubble everywhere. But inside the rubble, you've got old arcade pinball machines, but it's the arcade games, video games, Street Fighter and Operation Wolf and all that kind of stuff, like, and Space Invaders and Pac-Man. You've got all them, and they work. But every time I go back to that dream, and it could be weeks, months even, but I get a dream again, and in my mind I go like, there's more to this place. So I race through all the early parts, the Dresden, the summery kitchen, looking at the garden. Oh, let's get to that fucking door. But my dream is slowing me down. But I know when I get to that door, up the stairs, all these bedrooms. Yeah. My God, got all this. This is a palace. And then you get this warehouse thing with all the pinball machines and the arcade games. But then you go beyond that, and it's a museum with like, it's like the Mines of Moria. It's cathedral like. But it's well lit, and there's books from like, it's 100 feet high, and there's books from floor to ceiling, but it's all bell jars of artifacts and brains and big frogs and weird creatures, megalodon fucking teeth and all that sort of stuff. And you go through all that, and suddenly you enter a museum, and there's other people walking around. And in my dream, I'm always trying to hide behind these glass cases as tourists are going around. And like, as I say, each time I have the dream, I go a little bit further. The point where that dream ends off in the last installment, I get outside onto like a lovely sort of stone veranda with the stone gargoyles and stuff like, and it's that weird twilight sort of light, and it looks like you're facing into St. John's Gardens in Liverpool. It looks like that. That's the impression I get, but it's not that at all. And you've got this roaring road, and there's always, well, the last dream I had, there was tons of motorcyclists going around it, and I was like, oh god, they're pissing me off. And I was looking around for a rock and remembering that the front of the house is like Dresden, so it's all like the Blitz, there's all bits of concrete and rock, and I'm looking around for one of them to fucking throw at these fucking bikers. Fuck off, I just try and take them off like. But as I look down for these things, I noticed that as I'm looking down, there's like a moat running around, like a bit like Kilt-Man in reality. There's a moat, and it's all like snapping, you know, alligators or crocodiles. I don't know which ones they are, but they're very toothy and very reptilian. And I'm like, oh my god. And below us, there's a little sort of other veranda, and it's Victorian people just sitting there having, you know, cream teas, English teas, and all that. Like, and I'm kind of like, you know, don't, you know, there's no balcony, and there's no barricade. If you're gonna fall into that, and like, and that's the last version of that dream I had. So there you go. Make of all that what you will. Kind of crazy, kind of out there. But we all do it, we all dream. I don't mean your aspirations, you know, they're doomed to failure in a lot of cases. But you got to keep the dream alive, you know? But I want to know, I don't want to know your interpretations of these dreams. I think that it's kind of insecure. Oh, look at this fucking hair. It's kind of insecurity on my part, I think. She's definitely more attractive and more of a you know, I was going to say commodity, then that's terrible, isn't it? She could get whisked off by anybody else, and like I'd just be there, oh, that's Kilt-Man, but yeah, look at him now, it's a fucking mess. It's my own insecurity, my own feelings of like, maybe it's because I'm not working. Incidentally, on that front, I have an interview next week for the job I think I told you about, or I didn't tell you about. I'll tell you about it if I get it. If I don't get it, then I'm not going to mention it ever again. But it's out of my comfort zone, and it's just whiskey money. That's all it is. But it'd be nice to get your foot back in the working world. But maybe it's because I'm a landowner. No, maybe it's because I've felt like no purpose. Really, you know, just going out every day and watching stuff on TV, and then going out and having a few bevies, shooting the shit, watching the world fall apart around me. Maybe it's because of that I got this sort of dreamy subconscious where I don't seem to matter anymore. Like the dream last night, where everyone seems to know something, and even Mrs. Kilt-Man's kind of like, you know, look, I'll tell you, but it's nothing to worry about. Nothing to worry about. And like, don't worry, because you don't really matter. It is strange. I don't know. But I do love dreams. So comment below, let me know what you think of what I've just said. That's if I allow you to see it. I might not even put the video up. But if you're watching it now, then obviously, yeah, I did do. And let me know, you know, your dreams, recurring dreams, your nightmares. Oh, I've had plenty of nightmares, and you know, we could open up the genie's bottle here, couldn't we? Because there's so much more we could explore with this. But the whole thing about let's talk about some of the ramifications. REM sleep, and what they say, 15 minutes, if not a lot longer, before you fall into like proper dream state. Bullshit, absolute bullshit. I've explained that. I can shut my eyes and begin dreaming and wake up minutes later having had an epic Tolkien-esque fantasy, you know, huge campaign dream, and wake up knackered, and only a minute or two have gone by. So there. put that in your pipe and smoke it, Gandalf. And recurring dreams, your subconscious. What are dreams? Why do we have them? Do we need sleep? Is sleep actually not a good thing for you? As all these monks kind of maintain, just go into a meditative state, which is just fucking sleep, just dressed up a different way. You love going bobos, don't you? You love going to bed. We all do. You know, I mean, for sleepy purposes. Yeah, like, obviously sleep's better after a bit of activity. That's always the best sleep, isn't it? But if you've done stuff that day, you've been busy, you've been out in the fresh air. If you're a city person, a suburban person, you go out in the fresh air for a day or two. Wow, you sleep like fucking crazy. It knocks you out. And that's the best sleep. Obviously, if you're out a lot, like again, Marines, I was out in the wilderness all the time. So you sleep, as if you slept at all. Your sleep was massively shrunk down. You needed it, but my God, you didn't get it. You know, and but the fresh air ceased to have that magical capability upon you, that magical spell. But Sibyland and just normal stuff, you go out in the wilderness, the countryside, you go camping, you go climb a mountain. Wow, you sleep. Oh, it's great. Don't sleep on top of a mountain, that's not a good idea. But, you know, come back down again. Go to your guest house, your hotel, your apartment, your tent, and the sleep of the gods. It's brilliant. And you don't tend to dream. That's something else I've noticed as well. In the great outdoors, when we've been up and down mountains and we're staying in hotels, and we've been away a fair bit. I haven't told you about some of the weekends away we've had, because we've had a few, and we've got another one coming up very shortly. But we've been out in the countryside, and yeah, the fresh air zonked us out. And the last trip was, it was so hot. Oh my God, it was unbelievable. Hard to sleep, and yet copious amounts of whiskey and beer did the trick. So you did slumber off. No dreams, nothing at all. So I don't know, does fresh air wipe out the subconscious as well? I want to hear your thoughts on this, because I find it a dynamite topic. As I said earlier on, there's certain people that go like, I don't dream. And I'm like, just went, oh, fuck off. You just don't remember it. The thing about, you dream journal, you always got taught to do this. When I say you always got taught, I know people that are involved in sort of esoterics and stuff like, and keep your dream journal. Because there's many people that believe, a lot of belief systems around the world that believe that your dream life is at least as important as your physical real life, what we call a real life. Your dream life, that's existence as well. That's another world that you're in, or other worlds that you can. Look at this, it's doing my head in that. I don't know why it does that. Look, it's pure renegade, isn't it? It's other universes and dimensions that you exist in. I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying stuff that people do say. And once you've had a night like I just had, it's easy to believe that you've just had adventures in a different realm altogether. Oh, what? Kilt-Man, you didn't review weapons. Kilt-Man, you didn't review Alien Earth. Kilt-Man, you didn't do this, that, or the other. Well, no, I didn't. I like to keep you on your toes. Everyone's reviewed Alien Earth now, and everyone's reviewed weapons. And I'm going to say right here and right now, I haven't seen Alien Earth. No, I haven't watched it yet. I know. I will do. But weapons, I've gone right off talking about it. I know that's going to piss a few people off. I know, but I thought it was great, but a lot of the ideas didn't work out. It didn't push too far. It's confused jumble of slapstick and humour and horror and jump scares and mystery and the chapterized character-based vignettes and telling the same thing from a different angle and all that, like, was a brilliant concept, and yet it kind of got frustrating. and everyone has talked about it, and their dog has talked about it too. So I'm not sure I'm even going to bother. Seriously, I'm way after the event now. So, and you know me, I don't like doing it. I could review Weapons in, like, say 5 years' time. Go, oh, there's a film everyone's forgotten about. Yeah, this is great, you know, and blah blah blah. And of course now they're talking about a fucking prequel to it. Oh my god, you know, what the hell? Although you can see how that could happen, but you know, dear god. Anyway, dream on, motherfuckers. But you are gonna get lots of reviews. There is one cooking right now, to be honest, for the film. You don't expect me to be viewing as early as I'm able to do it. The film itself, sadly, but it's one we've talked about a lot, and you're gonna get that. So anyway, it is what it is. Right, Freddy. 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. 3, 4, better lock your door. 5, 6, grab your crucifix. 7, 8, gonna stay up late. 9, 10, never sleep again. Dreams are fucking awesome. They are. What are they? Freddy. It's his land. Right. But do comment and do let me know what recurring dreams you have. Don't make shit up. Just be honest. You know, it could be. I think if you dream mundane, you must have a really exciting life. It's got to be the flip side. You've got a mundane life. You dream wild. I don't know.
This is God.
Oh, it should be that. I'm going like that. It should be like that. He slit a finger up, hasn't he? And Pure Tina's going. Ugh. This soundtrack, it's it, Nightmare on Elm Street, the first Elm Street, is phenomenal. Charles Bernstein's score. I've done videos on this score alone and the movie, but this score alone is just electrifying. Anyway, I've said enough. It's bedtime, in fact. Oh, where's Mrs. Kilt-Man? Actually, she's not here. She's gone to book club. And we're back till late. She's out all the time. And I dream that she's missing. And I dream that she's not telling me something. Good luck to her. What the hell? I've had fun. You can have theirs as well. Folks, I have been watching Kilt-Man, so please, in the meantime, this ever dream and nightmare fueled in between time, please keep it Kilty, keep it Celtic. I'm going to see you all in your dreams later. So you imagine, like, waking up, you know, the wee small hours and turning over and like, you see this next to you. Hey, Kilt-Man here. Kilt-Man at your services. And you'd be like, fuck, where's my fucking chainsaw? Oh, the one they keep by the bed, you know, for, you know, close encounters. Whatever.